what's shaking, what's doing? Welcome to episode 351 of MCRAE Live. My name's Dave McCrae, coming to you live from the Voice Man Studios in Toronto, Canada. The date today is, what is it, Sunday? Yeah, it's Sunday, August the 10th, 2025, 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be joined today by Frank and Darren of the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast. We're going to be talking weapons. If you have not seen the movie, do not watch. Well, if you don't care about spoilers, that is. If you care about spoilers, do not watch this show until you've seen the movie. We are going to be spoiling it like it's nobody's business. You cannot talk about this movie without spoiling it. Really, at the end of the day, it's that kind of movie. I've seen it once. I think Darren has seen it. I think Frank has seen it twice. Frank's seen it 38 times already. No, I think he's seen it twice. And we're going to be talking about weapons today. And it should be good. It should be good. So, without further ado, let's jump over to the other screen. Why is my mic really low for some reason? It'll go up on the other screen. Here we are. There they are. Frank, oh, wait, hang on. Frank and Darren of the Slaughtered Lamb. What's going on, guys?
How are you doing?
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, no problem. No problemo. What's shaking? What's doing? Frank and Darren of the Slaughtered Lamb. Frankly speaking, of course, and Mr. Sandsman.
That's right.
A few more channels probably by the end of this.
Good night, everybody. Good night. Thanks for joining us here today. Yeah, so thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the invite.
This should be fun.
That's all right.
We'll see who rolls on in over the next little bit, if anybody cares, or maybe we'll just have 8 people watching because nobody wants the thing spoiled. I'm not entirely sure. But
can I just ask, are those your smalls hanging behind you there on the chair arm?
My small where me where
BBDs
behind you on the other side.
Yeah,
those.
Where? What is
that?
Are those your Fruit of the Looms?
What here? No, what? What do you? What? Oh, here.
Yeah.
No, that's a blanket.
Oh, it looks like you've got your pants hanging.
Oh, no, it's a blanket. It's a blanket, folks.
Okay. It kind of looks like you've just taken the pair of.
Well, his couch is there.
That's it. Take that off. Yeah. No, it was what was on
the thing that fell. The thing that fell on the ground.
No, it's a towel. It's a tea towel. It's a tea towel.
Okay.
Because he's in front of his TV there, and he goes, "Oh."
It's a tea towel. Jesus, the laundry is in the basement. I was doing laundry, and God.
There's always one piece. There's always one piece of laundry that falls out of the basket. You're like, "What the hell?"
That's
and then
it.
you have to stop the laundry load, and then you have to put it back in.
Yeah, you do.
We have one of those washing machines, that has like a sock drawer. If you forget to put something in, you know what I mean. You can open this little drawer and then. Never used it once.
Never.
Had it 2 years. Never had a course to. I've never forgot to put a sock in once. What a waste of fucking time.
It also tells you when your refrigerator needs milk.
Yes,
it does.
Yes, that's right. And when you're supposed to shower and shower and shave, or shit and then shower. Like, whatever order you want to do it in is or you could shower and then shit.
Your fridge reminds you. Get rid of her. Oh, today I do that. I can do that today.
Man. So it's Sunday afternoon. Like I said, we'll see who rolls on in. By the way, and I'll mention this throughout the show. There's not too many people in here at the moment, but I am only 5 subscribers away from 30,000, folks. So if you are not yet subscribed to me, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Even if you're watching after the fact, feel free to do that because I'd love to finally get to 30K after 30,000 years. So it'd be great to finally get there. But weapons. So let's start. Let's just dive right into it. There will be spoilers, obviously. If you've not seen it, then we recommend that you tune out. But let's start this. Let's just start. Darren, what did you think of the movie? Weapons.
I absolutely loved it. I was fortunate enough to be invited to a preview screening on Tuesday. I think the Warners must have had a junket in town or something, and they did like a VIP screening, which was nice to be invited along to. And it was interesting because it was hosted by a guy called Alex Zane, who's a sort of British film critic / presenter / comedian, and he came on stage and introduced it as one of the funniest movies he's seen this year, and we were all sort of like, what's that? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Because I didn't pick up from the trailer that there was going to be this underbelly of humor throughout the film.
Right.
In fact, I didn't even watch the second trailer for the film, and I'm glad I didn't, because when you watch that second trailer back now, there are a lot of spoilers in it.
Right.
I kind of just left it to the first trailer. So I went along. The audience, as always with these type of press shows, media shows, they kind of plow the audience full of wine, and there's always a free bar beforehand for
right.
kind of an hour or something. Photo opportunities, the step and repeat boards, all that sort of thing. And so I kind of came in late. I just literally went straight to my seat, watched the film, absolutely adored it, because it just wasn't what I was expecting whatsoever. Because the trailer kind of points you in a direction of, as we were discussing over the weekend, maybe that there's some sort of sci-fi connection with this.
Sure,
a Netflix. You could see that trailer being for a Netflix 6-part series where
100%
kids mysteriously go missing, and for it to be a kind of balls out horror movie like it is, and it does get pretty horrific in parts. I loved it even more for that.
Yeah,
and it wasn't, Warner's were doing a kind of hard sell on it, that like it was going to be some sort of real sort of cerebral experience. And I didn't think it was at all. I thought it was smart.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really well written and really well constructed.
Yes.
But I was really pleased that it wasn't one of these, I was able to immerse myself in it, and I didn't come away with too many questions. There are a few things in there that I had to kind of, what was the meaning of this, and what was the meaning of that? But once you kind of get it, it's, it's fairly straightforward. I think it's an old-fashioned fairy tale.
Yeah,
and it's the sort of thing that you would get in a 70s anthology that would be 20-25 minutes long or something like that. A British Amicus film or a Hammer anthology or something, a short story about a witch or something like that. And that's exactly what we got, and I absolutely loved it. I think he's one of the most talented directors. I mean, when you look at the directors that are out there doing horror at the moment, we're spoiled. We really are spoiled. We've got Zach Kreger, Coralie Fargen, Jordan Peele, Ryan Coogler, Ari Aster, Robert Eggers, Parker Finn, Oz Perkins, all these
Lee Winnell
directors, Lee Winnell as well, all these really talented horror directors out there who are giving us some amazing movies right now.
Yeah.
So I was really, really pleased with it.
Yeah. What about, I agree. I'll give my thoughts in a sec, but Frank, what about you? Now, you've seen it twice, Frank.
I've seen it twice. I had to go back and watch it again. Now, when I saw it at 2:17. It started at 2:17
no,
at my theater.
Come on.
AMC Rockaway. And I can show it to you guys if you guys want to ever see it.
That's great marketing.
2:17 it started at.
Yeah.
And it was almost a packed house.
Could you imagine if it was 2:17 in the morning? That'd be great. Anyway, sorry.
This popcorn's making me crap. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Just like Darren and probably with everybody else, the trailer threw me off. I thought it was gonna be a lot darker.
Right.
I thought it was going to be, never find the kids again and all that jazz. We'll get into that. But I think what was weird for me is that I didn't know if I was supposed to laugh or not until Darren said, "You will laugh in parts." And I'm just like, oh, okay. I feel kind of weird about that. It's like laughing at the monkey, the Osgood Perkins movie. I think I liked it more the second time around, knowing that I know what I know.
Right. I got you.
And I'm comfortable with it. And I did like how they introduced the different characters and how every character is interacting in this world as these events are going on.
Right.
Tarantino does the same thing. He breaks everything up in chapters, very Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
what's happening here, what's happening there. And I liked it so much the second time I ordered pre-ordered the Steelbook.
Well, there you go.
Coming out.
There you go. Yeah, no, that's look. I mean, I agree. When I saw the trailers for it, obviously, I mean, I love mystery and ambiguity, and even my own feature that I've written, delves into that, and so I love movies that are like that, and there's a mystery and a mystique around it, and you don't reveal too much, and there's nothing creepier. I mean, there probably is, but there is definitely something creepy about seeing doorbell grainy security footage of children leaving their homes at 2:00 in the morning and doing some weird kind of not flying like this, but their arms are the posture is weird, seeing that where are they going? What's happening? They all disappear. I love that kind of thing. And you're right. It could absolutely be sort of a Netflix series or something like that. It reminded me of the same sort of thing. The series was canceled, but there was a really cool show. I wasn't necessarily the demographic for it, but I really liked it. It was called The Society on Netflix. And it was about these kids that, it's kind of the, it's got the Pied Piper, the whole, it's got kind of that kind of thing to it, and so of course it ends on a massive cliffhanger, and the show got canceled because of COVID, and I don't know what happened. But anyway, this trailer reminded me of that kind of thing. Like there was an eeriness, a surrealness, an otherworldliness to it. And there is definitely, and we'll talk about it, but not in the ways that I bet a lot of people thought. I heard some people saying, I thought it was going to be like Aliens. And I'm like, Aliens? I was like, I didn't go there. I didn't,
I was thinking that. I would have put money on it being something sci-fi like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess... Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I could see that. I didn't quite go the alien route, but definitely something weird. Yeah. But I went in, and I remember, obviously I saw it Friday, but obviously Darren, you saw it prior, and I know some other people did. And yeah, that whole sort of comedy, it's funny, and I remember thinking, I guess it's funnier, and horror and comedy go together. I mean, there's a parallel relationship there. But I didn't think it was nearly as funny as a lot of people are making it out to be. Like I'm sitting there, and I actually caught myself about halfway through going, when does it get funny? Like I'm sitting there thinking, like I don't really, like I've noticed some giggle moments, like chuckle, when Brolin has the dream and he's like, what the fuck? Like things that like moments like that, or when, the Fruity Pebbles moment, the irony of that. And like, yeah, they're giggle moments, right? But I guess I was taking it literally, and I was expecting from some of the things that people were saying, like it's one of the funniest movies of the year, or something like that. I was expecting.
I think it helps with a packed house.
Yes, I was just going to say
feeding off people. I know both of you went to matinees for the first time round. It was a full house when I watched it, and it brought the roof down. Towards the end. I was particularly in the scene with the homeless guy repeatedly getting back up.
As funny as Naked Gun.
Yes. Yeah. No, but you know what? But to your point, you're right. Because you had said to me, I think part of the reason why is because you did go to a matinee and there was 30 people in there and nobody was well, there were a few chuckles, at a few of the things.
Yeah. But the ones who get it.
Yeah, but nobody was laughing, and I wouldn't describe this movie as a black comedy or a horror comedy. I would not describe. For me,
it has black humor in it.
It does. It does. Yes. Yeah. But it's not, like I said. It's not Death to Smoochie, or something like that. I mean, but you made an excellent point when we were talking the other day. You said, I saw it with, people had some booze and it was a packed house and, people were having a great time. And you're right. Had I gone at 7:30, maybe that night instead of 2 p.m, then it may have been a different experience, or maybe not. Maybe Canadian audiences are just, stuffy. I have no idea, but
that's usually us.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a good point that you made. But overall, I really liked it. I love the mood and the atmosphere, of course. What a shock. The camera work I thought was fantastic. A lot of camera movement, which I'm a big fan of. And a lot of just very eerie, creepy, unsettling imagery, which I thought was excellent. And so overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great film.
Yeah, I mean, when you talked about the kids running around, the image reminded me of something, and I was watching a video on YouTube, a reviewer, I can't remember his name now, apologies, but he was saying that he likened it to the Napalm Girl in that photograph, the naked girl running down the street
after the bombing.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and it is, when you think about it, it is that exact pose, isn't it?
Yes.
That the kids are running around doing. But somebody there saying in the chat, like the ending when the kids are running around after what did they call the witch now?
Gladys.
Gladys. When they're running around after Gladys.
Yes.
Shanice.
Almost. I mean, I was laughing so much at that scene in a good way. I was laughing with it, not at it. And it did remind me, someone said there, it reminded them of Ferris Bueller when he's going home at the end. It kind of was. It was almost Benny Hillish, wasn't it? When Benny Hill would be, when he would be chased around by crowds of people.
Right.
It almost reminded me like that. But so I was also watching someone earlier today saying the moment where you have the moment where the school principal attacks both Julie
Andrew.
and Justine and an Archer as well in the street, and someone was saying, did they really have to make such a mess of him in the street like that? And I was thinking, you absolutely did.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of foreshadowing what you have to do to stop these cursed people at the end, because no matter what Josh Brolin does to the kid, what was his name now? James. He just keeps getting back up.
He does.
And so the only thing apparently that you can do really is just absolutely smash that head to pieces to stop them from doing what they're doing.
That's it.
There's another way. There's another way.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
You kill the witch.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
of course.
That's
Yeah.
No, I agree. I thought the gore was great, and again, I don't want to sound, I say these words a lot, but properly motivated. Like it wasn't gore for gore's sake. I didn't find that it was gratuitous unnecessarily. I think it made sense, and especially at the end when they're tearing her apart and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like you want to do that, but there's some really great unsettling imagery. Less is often more, as we know, and just even that low angle shot. What's the kid's name? The one that was it Alex? The one that
Alex, the one that's left.
Yeah. When he's there and his mom and dad are in the hallway, and there's the salt line on the floor, and just the way that they lit the parents, the low angle shot, and just the way it's an eerie, unsettling image. There's a lot of images like that. When James, of course, sees the kids for the first time in the basement, it's dark in the basement and you just see them standing there, but barely. What I really like about the darkness in this movie, and you see it in some horror films, I think Hereditary might have been the same way, it's not overly stylized. Often when you see darkness in horror movies, especially, it can be overly styled, like it's lit very studio-like, where the moonlight isn't really that bright, right? You know what I mean? Or it's not really, this feels very, even when Brolin was in his dream, it feels kind of like, unless it was just the bulb on my projector, I don't know, I don't know, but it felt very like how things do look to you in the dark. With a bit of moonlight coming in. And that really, it was very eerie and unsettling. I totally bought into it. It wasn't overly stylized. It felt authentic. And so again, I'll have to watch it when it comes to streaming or physical media to see if I was right and it wasn't just the projector. But I think it was like that. I think they lit it with that sort of like you can see features, but barely. And that's it can be very unsettling.
Oh, it was completely intentional.
Their aura. That was it.
I saw it in Leicester Square, and I know from personal experience that those projectors in Leicester Square are calibrated before every major show that they do.
All right.
Because each studio brings in their own person to make sure everything's set up perfectly.
Gotcha.
So I know that what I was watching was going to be bang on reference level in terms of the light levels,
Right.
and it was so dark.
Yes.
Like I was thinking, Jesus, when this goes out into the suburbs to the smaller independent cinemas and things who can't afford a new bulb and the light level is going down and everything, you're barely going to be able to see this. It was incredibly dark. And I was like, Jesus, I'm struggling here. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But it really does immerse you.
It does. And think of for example, Halloween 18. Right, and the outside shots there, and look, it's professional. The production value is top tier. It's a professional Hollywood production. But think of the nighttime scenes there, and then look at the nighttime scenes when what's her face is gotten back from the liquor store, and she's walking up to her and she's walking up to her house. Right, it feels like that's what it looks like at night. I mean, it really does. When you go outside, it really looks like I don't get a sense of studio lighting anywhere. And there definitely is, obviously, but the way that it's crafted and the way that it's manipulated and the way that they did color and, in post and all that is just brilliant. They did a really, really great job at creating a very unsettling, claustrophobic, dark, moody environment. And I thought it was just great. Just great.
Yeah. Yeah.
That feels akin and very real to what it is like when you get up and you go outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So playing in the shadows, I love that.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So what do we think about where it all? I mean, again, we can be all over the place here. We're not going in order, but I just was curious on where, because again, for me, when I first saw the trailer, the first one, I remember it harkened back to my thought of The Society. On Netflix, which again, it sucks because I really wanted to see what happened. But it reminded me of that Pied Piper, luring kids, and I thought it was maybe there was going to be that kind of an angle to it. And there definitely is a sci-fi kind of vibe to it. How do we feel about where it ended up? Because I have heard and read some reviews where some people were like, oh, it was good. And then kind of, I don't know. I didn't, well, I really liked it.
I loved it, because I love that kind of stuff anyway. The old-fashioned sort of fairy tales, the witches, all that sort of thing. And it was, for me, it was a cross between, and I said this in the little review video that I did the other day, it's a cross between Bring Her Back, which was all about Sally Hawkins' character trying to resurrect her own child. And this is kind of that, but in reverse.
Right.
You've got this old witch who needs the sort of energy from these kids to stay youthful again, to stay youthful. You also add, not just in the look, but in the messaging in the film as well, the substance. This person wants to stay young. And also she looked incredibly like what Demi Moore looked like in The Substance at that phase towards the end.
I didn't even think of that. Good point.
Yeah. And then the other one was Magnolia, which he's openly admitted he's a huge fan of, and the structure of the movie was kind of like that, all told from different viewpoints and then kind of meeting towards the end.
Yeah.
So I really, really enjoyed it. I spent ages trying to rack my head about the 217. Why was it at 217? And when you look into it, it's so obvious that the 17 kids and 2 left behind, but also there are kind of biblical links as well to that. If you look at Matthew 2:17, I was Googling, me and a friend of mine were Googling different biblical passages and things like that to do with 2:17. But if you look at Matthew 2:17, it's all about Herod killing the kids.
Okay.
So there's that kind of angle of it as well, but also in terms of grief and loss and the school side of things and community, it's there's that moment there where there's this kind of automatic weapon over the school.
Yes. Yeah.
And so
clearly no, it was over. It was over.
It was a house, wasn't it?
It was Archer's house.
Yeah. So there's clearly, it's clearly a metaphor for, I'm trying to remember the Parkland, Sandy Hook, all that kind of thing as well, you know.
Well, sorry, I was no. Go ahead.
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
After all that investigating Darren did, he found out who killed JFK.
Well, exactly, I was going to say, I was going to piggyback on what you said because I think it's a really, really great point. When I saw the weapon over the house, and this is a dream, of course, and a lot of the times in dreams, obviously they speak to, you know, our subconscious, and they will speak to us via symbols, right? Because symbols, like math, is a universal language. And when that weapon appeared over the house, and it's Archer's house, and when he goes into the house, he finds his boy. Now, his boy, maybe I'm reading a little too much into it, but even if this wasn't the intention from Kreger, this is part of the fun of being a writer and a director and instilling things and allowing your audience to come up with their own, you know, ideas, right? And I remember thinking, because it was very clearly communicated to us before the kids disappeared that Archer's son, Matthew, is a bit of a dick. He's a bit of a bully. And he was the one that, you know, threw that you know, the shit at Alex, and he was a bit of a dick. And that could communicate that maybe he's on the trajectory of the wrong path, right? And that maybe he might end up with a weapon in his hand. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe I totally got that was a possibility. And I don't know if that's true, if that was the intention, or whether it's subconscious, but it's there. Also, 217, I know that Kreger is a big fan of The Shining. And in the book, The Shining, I believe, I stand to be corrected, but the hotel room was 217. In the movie, it's 237, of course, because they didn't want people not, you know, because they needed to change it for the film. But that's interesting as well, right? And of course, the old lady in The Shining who gets out of the tub is very reminiscent of the witch, you know, and how she looks sort of at the end too, a little bit, not quite, but that sort of you know, decaying thing. I love the foreshadowing of witch. I mean, they tell you what it is right at the start of the movie with the paint on the side of the car. Witch. They tell you. Of course, it's the wrong person, right? But I love that it ends up being a witch, you know, and things. Anyways, little things like that. Absolutely loved. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and also the line at the start of the film, which is the girl narrating, and I think if I remember rightly, she's narrating 2 years after what's happened. If I remember right, it was 2 years something or a year or something like that. And what she says is, "And they never came back."
Right.
And once this is all resolved, they're still not back. They're vacant, these kids. And she actually says at one point as well that one of them even, or a few of them even started to speak again after this period of time.
That's right.
But I'm
and still covered up.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's because of the energy that the life force that this witch has drawn from them. They're all kind of suspended in a state of, you know,
they're all Michael Myers
where they were when the spell was broken, you know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they're all catatonic.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all like, I mean, the look on Matthew's face at the very end when Brolin is carrying him down the street. I mean, he's gone. The poor kid. I mean, I hope, you know, you hope that they come back.
I did recognize his name though.
His name?
Yeah. Well, Archer said Matthew. Matthew turned and looked at him.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So it was already broken.
Yes.
You know,
it was broken.
Right there.
But I just mean he's like still sick. Like he's
catatonic.
Yeah, like what the hell's gonna happen? Yeah. And to Darren's point, you know, the little girl says that some of them came back, but then that means that some of them probably didn't. You know, and what does that
Parents
mean?
never did.
Right. And what does that mean? You know, and what happens to little Alex and his parents? I mean, holy shit.
Well, Alex went somewhere else with a better family.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
And then his parents are now in a facility with, I guess Alex is still visiting them.
Right.
Well, how about if you change, you know, the soup? How about instead of giving chicken noodle all the time, you switch it up a little bit? Maybe they start talking.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank you to Coke and chicken noodle and Campbell's soup for you know,
the ad placement,
their product placement. Yeah, exactly.
But I did feel bad for Gladys though. I mean, we don't know if she was actually related to the couple, Alex's parents.
That's true. You know.
See, I was going to ask that. I don't think that she was,
Agreed.
Because they say it's an aunt. And but he there's a line at one point where he says something along the lines of, "I don't think my mum remembers her," or something like that. You know,
he says
it could be a lot for a lot of families.
Something like, "I don't know her very well, and to be honest with you, I don't think her mother does. I don't think your mother does either."
Yeah.
So it's kind of, so maybe she wasn't. Maybe she wasn't.
Well, because the whole thing has all these messages and clips of parasites throughout.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering whether she's somebody that latched onto that family.
Right.
Obviously to, you know, as an in.
Yes.
To the kids. And she's not actually, you know, this aunt who's dying of cancer or whatever it was that she had.
I'm thinking she's dying somewhere. I don't think she's as old as people think she is.
Right.
I think she had, because her hair. She's 26. Yeah. Because her hair is leaving her.
Right.
And she's very sunk in. You know, the one part that really got me with Gladys is when she was in the basement.
Yeah.
I mean, I jumped out of my seat for that. I'm like,
You
know, what the hell was
when
that?
old kids are just stood around.
I'm just like, punch
catatonic.
Yeah.
No, that was great, and let's talk about her for a moment. What a great performance! What a great performance! I mean, she's a great actress anyway, but I mean, I really loved the scene with her and Alex at the table with the parents completely, you know, out to lunch, no pun intended, and the whole fork.
Amy Madigan.
Yeah, the whole fork. You know, thing, but just the way that she was speaking to Alex with such. It was evil. I mean, it was just pure evil. I mean, the way she was, her face and the way she'd smile, and then like she wasn't speaking to him like a child. She was speaking to him like he was an adult. You know what I mean? Like,
wasn't there a line about "I'll force your parents to eat each other" or something?
Yeah, she says, "I can do." Yes, like she was just brilliantly slimy, and it was so great. It was so great. And sorry, her name again? Amy what? Amy
Madigan.
Amy Madigan. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I was sitting there, and as I recognized the face, I was like, "Oh, I know this actress. I know this actress." And I'm like, "Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?" Anyways, I couldn't make the connection while I'm watching the movie because obviously I got to pay attention. When I went out, I went into my car. I looked her up. I'm like, "Oh yes, Uncle Buck, Feel the Dreams. Yes, of course, sure, of her." She was fantastic. She was great. Yeah. Loved her in this role.
I like the interaction where he comes in and sees her actual self. And I think that for me, that was a little bit of kindness that she didn't have to put on all of her makeup, all of her fake wigs, all that stuff. And he came in and saying, "What's wrong with you?" Yeah. And she got that little bit of, you know, I guess a little bit of, not generosity, but a little bit of kindness from a kid who wasn't scared of her at that moment.
Right.
And his intention was, "What can I get you?" And then he can go back home.
Right.
He had a full intention of getting things. He wanted her out. But he just wanted to help her. And I think she smiled a little bit there.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was kind of sweet.
Yeah. No,
I felt bad for her.
Yeah. No, she was, and all the performances were fantastic. I mean, they were really, really good. Alden Ehrenreich was great. You know, we could talk about
even
him.
looking like Tom Selleck.
He did. He did.
He came on screen. I was like, "Damn, you look like Magnum PI here.
Does.
What's going on?"
He does. He's a handsome man, and even James, his little story was great, and I love that they left it to him because he just so happened to break into the house, and that's how he found them. And he's all, you know, he's more about the $50,000 than he is, you know, the kids. Fuck them. You know, but so great. And that third act was I mean, just bonkers. I mean, it just got wild, you know. And
I was sitting watching it thinking, I was sitting watching it thinking, because part of my job is I work in ratings, getting the right rating for our movies, and I'm sitting watching it and I'm thinking, it's 90 minutes in and this doesn't feel like an R-rated movie at this point, you know, or 18 as it is in the UK. You really have to go some, like Bring Her Back's an 18, but rightly so as well. Some of the stuff in that's just horrific.
Yeah.
That's a comedy.
And 18s are usually kind of parked for I'd say things like sexual violence and all that kind of thing. And I'm watching this film and I'm thinking, there's nothing here. Maybe it's the drugs that's an issue, because we do have an issue. You know, if you show people ingesting drugs and things like that, then it can push the rating up.
Yeah.
Damn, when it gets to that last 20 minutes, half hour, or whatever it is, especially the scene where the kids start to tear apart Gladys, is just like, and the fact that it's kids as well, you know, it really does hit hard, does that scene?
It's like Body Snatchers.
Yeah. Well, and just,
am I right in thinking, because I was kind of like so taken back by what was happening, were they eating her or were they just tearing her apart?
I think they were just tearing her apart. Were they eating her?
I didn't see blood on any mouths.
No, but there was a lot of blood spray, like when they were tearing the spray on the kids.
There was nothing left of her.
No, it was she was just torn. And what great effects! I mean, really, really well done. And
her wig was the only thing left.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
She was actually creepy. How did you guys feel about when she was in the woods with James, and she was there?
Oh yeah,
waving.
Like
very Tim
creepy.
Curry in It.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, get the fucking dead and zip that shit up.
I love too that the way they did her makeup. Like, you know how some old ladies will look like clowns, but they're not. They're not trying to look like a clown. It's just like
Gloria Swanson.
They've overdone their makeup. So they've got big blue eyeshadow, big red lipstick, big, blush, and you could look like, and that's what she looked like. And I love the fact that that was communicated again in the dream that, why am I forgetting all these names? Our lead, our main lead, the
Archer?
Justine?
No, Justine, right. When she has the dream and she walks into the classroom and Alex lifts up his head and he looks like a clown. You know what I mean? But again, it's the way that the way that it's communicated through the subconscious, through symbolism, because she's not literally a clown, but it's trying to tell her there's a connection there, that you know what I mean? And I thought that was really, really well done. All the dream sequences were great. The Archer and Matthew dream sequence was fantastic. That was a great jump scare, properly motivated. Again, I listen, jump scares can be really good and really effective as long as it's not you don't rely on them like it's a jump scare every 5 seconds, and as long as it makes sense. Like it's woven into the fabric of the story in the moment, and it has meaning to it. You know what I mean? And that did, because that was, again, trying to tell Arch. I mean, these things are telling them what's going on. And they'd have to decipher the puzzle, because the face that you see is it's Matthew almost maybe even speaking to his dad. I mean, we don't even know where they are, where these kids are, what realm they're in. Maybe it was Matthew speaking to his dad, right? You know what I mean? And trying to tell his dad where he is and how he was taken, because his dad sees the image of Gladys, right?
Yeah.
And so, and why would he see that? I mean, he's never met her. He doesn't know her. But again, it's like Matthew he's just looking at his dad. He's not saying anything. Come on, boy, I love you. Say something. He's not saying anything. And then all of a sudden there's the face. And it's almost like, no, he is saying something. He's trying to tell you wherever they are, wherever their conscience is or their being
like
is.
Get Out.
Yeah. It's just, he is communicating. And I love that. Yeah. And it's, and so that it's a jump scare. Yes, but it's got all sorts of story woven into it, and it's just fantastic. Just great.
Yeah. And we do have Incompetent Police Station too.
Yeah.
Peanut butter on my penis.
It has.
It was Frank. No, it was Frank from Halloween 18.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Ray from Halloween. Yeah.
Excuse me, Ray. Yes, that's right. Ray.
It's Toby the Wiz.
Yeah.
Yep. Somebody's got to do a meme. And so I wonder if peanut butter is still on his peanut. No. He was good.
What do you think I know that Zach Cregg has publicly come out and said that even though he wrote it, he said there are still a lot of questions in there that even he can't answer. And one thing that I was interested in was, what was her end game? So let's say the spell's complete and she's got her youth back, all that kind of stuff. What would then have happened to the kids?
I would have think they got older. Could you imagine these little 3-foot little bastards running around looking like they're 80 years old? Snapping out of it. That'd be creepy.
Do you think that they're just like vessels after that?
Well, kids are a source of energy, right? They're the biggest source of energy in the universe. These kids. I mean, all kids.
I would think that. Well, one way
give them some caffeine.
One way you could go is you could say that, to your point, Darren, and I think we all agree that what he's trying to effectively communicate is that he needs the youth of the children to give her youth back, right? And so, even though it's not explicitly said, it's kind of obvious. And I think what would likely have happened is that had James not broken into the house, then she probably would have maybe gotten better. I don't know if she would have gotten younger. That might have been a little too sci-fi, maybe. I don't know. But she definitely would have gotten better. Maybe she would have looked healthier, maybe a bit younger, but not like, she wouldn't have become like, a teenager or something. And then maybe the kids die. Maybe they all sort of kind of just drop and die, and they all die in the basement. The spell is released from the parents, and she leaves. Gladys leaves. I mean, if she's that powerful, she can put spells on people and erase their memories, probably. And then Alex's parents get charged with the murder of 17 children, maybe. You know what I mean? Is keeping into this basement, and they're like, I don't know what's going on. And Gladys rides off into the sunset. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe it's that kind of thing. Maybe that was the end game. I don't know.
I think they all die.
They all die? Oh, yeah, the parents
die
too, maybe. Yeah.
Parents die, kids die. Yeah. It takes a little bit longer for the kids, because they're full of youth and then their souls are fresh. But remember, she said, I thought your parents would help me, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Right.
And what do you need? It's like,
yeah.
Do you have any friends?
Yes.
Give me something from your friends.
Right.
And that's what she does and everything. And apparently she was there for a lot longer because 17 kids, but again, like you said, Dave, it doesn't look like anything's happening.
Yeah.
Get a different tree.
and I saw some people, I guess, different strokes for different folks, but it's so funny to me how people will watch a movie and get something completely different. I was reading some comments, I think it was on Facebook or X, and there were people that were making fun of the kids and their posture. And I'm like, what the hell what are you talking about? It's the creepiest fucking thing. I mean, imagine waking up in the morning. Just imagine waking up in the morning and seeing that on grainy doorbell cam. Like, it's creepy. It's not like it's weird.
What do you want, a slow walk?
It's weird. Yeah, for me, I don't think. I mean, listen, there's many ways you could do it. The kids just walking, like as you said, slow. Sure, that's still But there's something about the kids running all with the same posture down the street, and there's something also childlike about it. There's a youth. That's what almost makes it eerie or eerier. Is you could make the argument that with their arms out to the side, it's not up like this, but kind of out to the side. It's kind of what kids do. There's a childlike airplane youthfulness to it, and that the juxtaposition of that against leaving at 2:00 in the morning, all at the same time, running away into the field behind a house. I mean, it's like, where are they going? It's eerie. It's very eerie, and I'm so surprised. I don't know if it's age or if it's some people, I don't know. I'm just like, what are you funny? That's not funny. What's wrong with you people? Like, it's just.
It is the part of the body that, if you're moving, your legs are moving, your chest is out. You're just, when they tell you relax your arms, they're voluntarily relaxed all the time.
Yeah. But there's a again, I don't keep meaning to, but there's a Pied Piper, youthful, childlike, follow me, children, follow me, to that pose. And as they're running, it's got that youthful, if they were all just walking like Michael Myers, it's creepy, but in a different way. To me, it communicates something entirely different. Different.
Yeah. They all didn't come out with their band instruments and started playing down the street.
Yeah.
Well, it's got drums.
Yeah, but it's got an innocent, childlike, youthful, naivety, vulnerable, sweet, innocent vibe to the posture. And that's what makes it ironic and eerie. to it. I think if they were all walking like Jason, it would just be, you know, no, you know what I mean? There's a youthfulness to that running, that free, and it's ironic. That's what makes it so great. Anyways, I want to ask you guys too, because Darren had a very different experience in the theater with this. Frank, I don't know about you, but with me, I thought it was one of the creepiest moments in the movie. And that's when what's-her-face, the mom, Alex's mom, comes out of the house. To bring
that up.
Yes, she comes out of the...
Best moment ever.
Oh my God. I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is the kind of shit where I'm like, oh, fuck.
I'm looking around like, see this shit?
Oh, I would get... if I had written a scene like that and I was editing that, I would get so excited watching that come together because it's genuinely eerie. And when you see, it's when Justine is asleep in the car because she's, you know, on a stakeout, but she's had too much to drink, so you know, she's unconscious, and we just see the door open. And I love the creative choice to always have the door open. It's dark inside, but you don't immediately see somebody. Whenever the door opens, it's not like you immediately see somebody. And I love that, you know, the door opens and we're waiting. We're like, what's going to happen? And all of a sudden, the mom just comes out with scissors in her hand. And to some, yes, I guess in a packed theater with a few drinks, maybe this is funny. But to me, I just was like, oh, could you imagine seeing that? Like what?
No music. No music.
Well,
there was
no music.
There was a slight sound score, a slight little... like very, I think there was a little bit of like that one note kind of.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't like a.
No. And
for me, it was there was like one girl that went, oh, like that. And then everybody else was going, oh,
yeah.
She was getting closer and closer and closer.
Yes.
And then, you know, in your head, she's going through the window or something or opening the car door. But when she didn't do that and she just kind of sort of stumbled by, and went past, everybody burst into laughter at that moment. And then when you heard her coming in through the back door or the boot or whatever, that was the moment when everybody was like really fucking scared at that point. But there was a real audible response and a laugh and then a Jesus Christ. Do you know what I mean? It was a really an incredible moment.
Yeah.
The guy behind me went, fuck that.
Evil,
it was probably me.
Evil Alex in the chat says something that is actually hang on. Sorry. Yes, Evil Alex, you did, but I meant M85619 running like T1000. Not quite like that, but the principle of it. When you look at the T1000 and what Robert Patrick does, like that could be funny, but the way that Robert Patrick does it and the look on his face, it's nothing but funny. Like it's intense. It's intense and it's very, you know what I mean? But you could, under a different circumstance, maybe with a different, slightly different, it could be funny. And I think the same thing is here. Maybe, if you're sort of half in the bag yourself and you're watching somebody come down and it kind of looks like maybe they're half in the bag, you know, you put the, I could definitely see how somebody would find that funny. I didn't giggle at all. I was like, "Oh, that's really."
I thought she was gonna do a cartwheel
because she wasn't batting, and she was whatever she was gonna do, she was gonna do it, and she was coming down, and she was confident, and the look on her face, and she's coming down like this and doing this, and it's just
there's nothing there, too, right, Dave?
Yeah.
So whatever's there, whatever energy she has left is barely moving.
Yeah, and the expression
stiff.
And then I didn't realize it was scissors. Actually, I thought it was a knife until she got in and she, snipped the hair. And then at first I was like, oh, come on, why aren't you waking up? I'm like, oh no, that's right. They showed that she had been drinking. So she's probably a little under, maybe heavier than she normally would be otherwise. So she wouldn't have felt it. And what a great moment. What a great eerie. And again, no visual effects. Right?
Yeah.
It's all in camera. It's all lighting in camera. And it's all pacing and timing. And it goes to show you, folks, sometimes the best, most scariest, eerie, uncomfortable stuff is done in camera without visual effects. And so...
Was it one shot?
No. Well, I mean, no, because they cut back and forth between... I don't think it was one shot. I mean,
did they go back to Justine, sleeping?
Yes. So they showed her come out of the house. I mean, she came down. I mean, that might have been one shot, but then they cut inside the car and showed her walk past the.
Can you imagine just
camera.
one shot though, and they just go back to her, and you hear just footsteps?
Well, it might have been interesting
Yeah.
actually to shoot it through the windshield and show the door open, come down. She runs down like her thing, and then we just pan with her, and then we rack focus. We see Justine asleep in the car, and we see the mom just walk by. You know, you could have done it that way as well with just one shot like that. And they may have done that, but that's not what's in the film. They cut, I believe they cut into the car. I think.
Right.
I think. But regardless, one of my favorite moments in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
BTT16 brought up the part where the kids were looking at James at one time down in the basement where he finds the kids, and they all turned at the same time to look at him.
Yeah.
And he went, fuck, and he just left.
Oh, I know. Yeah. It's almost like the people under the stairs or something. I mean,
there's some of those moments though with Alden Ehrenreich. The moment when he goes down to unzip the tent and the guy stabs him in the face with all the needles. Like, fuck.
What about the fingers? I know you don't like fingers, Darren. When he got poked in it, you're like,
yeah.
Or do you have AIDS? What? Do you have AIDS? I don't think so. Oh, good. Okay.
No.
Good. Okay.
But all that stuff. I mean, like with the parents at the table when she forces them to stab themselves in the face with the forks.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's brutal. It's brutal. That was really, really well done. I'd love to know how they did that. Whether it was, I
think there was probably just nothing in their hands and they did it in post. I would imagine
3 markers.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
I mean, I think Archer is the only caring parent in this whole movie, in this whole town. Everyone seems to be like, especially Justin Long's character.
Yeah, that was fun to see him. Now, do you think that he's playing the same character from? No.
Ooh.
Wait, did he survive Barbarian or did he die in Barbarian? I can't remember.
Could this be a Barbarian prequel?
Well, he's talking about
because he dies in Barbarian.
Oh, he does die in Barbarian.
Okay. He's a what do you call it?
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
One of those guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the word.
No. I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Right. Okay. No, but no, it was fun. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh yeah. And it's a perfect role. You could just be like, hey Justin, you want to do this role? It'll be one day. Probably was one day too. He was only in it for a few minutes.
Art where James Brolin, comes up to him and says, "Excuse me." He's like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's testament though to Zach Kreger, who has spent 20 odd years as a comedian before actually turning his hand to filmmaking, and getting a blend of comedy and horror right is very difficult.
It is.
It's very difficult. And my perfect example of that is something that we talked about earlier on, which is American Werewolf in London.
Yes.
1 minute you're laughing, 1 minute you're screaming. It's a perfect blend that John Landis created.
It leaves the
film.
tension.
Yeah. And it's almost like, his 20 plus years or whatever of being a comedian has helped him to be able to craft tension and scares, because it's all about timing.
Right.
Dave, you've done stand-up comedy, right?
I have.
It's all about timing, isn't it?
Yep.
And if you can crack it with a gag, you're halfway there to being able to crack it with a jump scare as well.
That's it.
And he does it so masterfully throughout this, and in Barbarian as well.
He does. And what I like, though, again, I because I didn't see it with a packed house and a few tequila shots or whatever, that would have been rough. But I didn't find it nearly as knee slapping hilarious as some of the critics are making it seem. But what I will say is, what I do appreciate is, I'm all for having a few giggles along the way in a horror film when it makes sense, of course. I mean, and some horror movies you don't have that. Like it's not needed. It's not that kind of horror movie. But if you are going to do it, what I do appreciate is, like, for me, first and foremost, because somebody said, it's not a horror movie, it's a comedy. And I'm like, listen, Weapons is first and foremost a full-on, full-out horror movie. It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
There is no denying it. It's not I wouldn't call it a horror comedy. That's me. I wouldn't go that far, but definitely there's some humor in it for sure. And some giggle moments for sure. But I also don't think you don't want to go too far because you don't want to ruin the horror. The horror is so masterfully done in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The tone is so masterfully done. You don't want to eat that by then switching it completely and turning it on its head. And now it becomes almost like a horror comedy where the comedy is almost too much. Do you know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen.
What's that?
There's a clown in this movie, ladies and gentlemen.
But it's just, it's too, like, it really is almost like, you know, all of a sudden it becomes Death to Smoochie or something, like something just really, and you're like.
Scary movie.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, what's it? Because, and so what he does is he instills those like ironic moments, the humor moments, like obviously, you know, Fruity Pebbles and the, you know, all this, like, it's funny, you know, it's funny.
He punctuates a lot of the violence with humor, which is which helps a lot of the time. It makes it, you know, more palatable for an audience. I think if there's comedy in there. When you watch a movie like Bring Her Back, it's an incredibly serious horror film.
It is.
Yeah.
And the violence in there is difficult to stomach.
Yes.
The melon scene, for those of you who have seen it, the melon scene is one of the most, like, this year alone, I think that's the one moment which I really had trouble watching.
I laughed.
Of course you did, Craig.
But you know, for a multiplex audience, and I know from research as well that on the whole, women don't like too much gore. I'm not saying all women,
generally
but on
speaking.
the whole, generally speaking,
Yes.
women don't like too much gore.
Yeah.
And I think what he does with this film is he softens a lot of those incredibly violent moments with humor,
Right?
And it makes it more palatable for a kind of a multiplex audience. I think it makes it. I think it makes, you know, it takes the sting out of it a little bit.
Yes.
And I think, you know, what we've, you know, the results that we're seeing this weekend, I think it's going to run.
Oh,
it's in the UK, it's a bigger opening than Sinners was.
Yeah. Well,
but Sinners had a huge multiple. Now, whether or not this can carry on with its momentum and play for as long as Sinners did, I hope so, because it's just great for the genre.
I hope so too. I think it's going to depend. Sinners, I don't think, had the expectations that Weapons has. Sinners sort of just kind of played. Nobody knew. I mean, it's like, where did Sinners come from? Like, I mean, we knew that Coogler was doing the movie and it was getting great word of mouth. But in terms of like, there wasn't really a mystery to Sinners. Do you know what I mean? Like that, what's this is going to be? What's it? So I think the word of mouth is going to be determined by whether most people buy into it and go, oh yeah, I loved where it went. Or if it's like, oh, I loved it for like the first 3 quarters and then, you know what I mean? And they were disappointed because they were hoping a Pied Piper or Aliens or, you know, something like that. Well, you know what? And to be fair, The Witch, it is kind of a Pied Piper thing.
Yeah,
really?
Absolutely.
I mean, it is.
Absolutely.
You know,
yeah. It feels like a Brothers Grimm fairy tale.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's not like the society. I think was leaning more literally into that. Although we'll never know. Sorry, I'll get off it. But in terms of this, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, no, it is. It's exactly what it is. And so, and I really love that. I love that. And so, but not everybody does. I think some people were expecting maybe more X-Files or, you know, something a bit different. But to your point, I think if most people, and it seems like most people do agree, that it will have some legs. I hope it does. Well, I think, I don't know if this is domestic or worldwide. Probably worldwide. Jeez, Frank, tell
not me.
Tell Sarah to park the car.
It might have been outside my house.
Oh, okay.
Late lunch. Well,
tell Zoe to park the bike. Okay. No.
Hoover.
But I think it's. I had read somewhere that they anticipate almost 40 million for Weapons this weekend, which is like, wow, that's.
Amy needs to be nominated.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe
it was
Sinners will be nominated. Sinners definitely will.
Yeah. 38 million budget. I don't see why, you know, why this why this shouldn't get nominations in some categories.
Yeah.
You know, we've been spoiled so much with horror this year.
Yeah.
You know, Sally Hawkins in Bring Her Back deserves a nod.
Yeah, she was great. She's great.
Sinners is worthy of a Best Picture nod.
Yeah.
You know, there's no reason why. Yeah, but there's no reason why Weapons as well couldn't be nominated as Best Picture.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't need to start recognizing this stuff more.
Yeah.
You know, at the moment, horror is the one consistent genre.
Yeah.
You know, that what other genres of movies are as consistent as horror? It's low budget, you know, 38 million for this film. It made its money back probably in the first few hours globally.
Yes.
You know, it's an incredible result.
Yeah.
And it all started with the trailer, how important a trailer is.
Yeah. Well, and you know, when horror, it goes to show you that horror can be both scary and smart. You know, and you know, and funny and funny, absolutely. And you could look at Weapons. You know, some people might look at it and feel maybe it's a little highbrow, or but it's not. It's yes, there are some horror that's more elevated than others, but horror can be smart, can be funny, can be scary, can be moving, can be emotional, and you know, obviously. No disrespect to the Terrifier films, but those films won't get nominated, and maybe in effects, perhaps, but they're not going to get nominated for any Academy Awards anytime soon. But horror movies, when they're smart, when they're scary, and when they get great word of mouth and become sort of a cultural kind of, at least for a moment in time, become very kind of, there's a good chance. So it's August now. We'll see what happens between now and December 31st. You know, but there's 10 nominations, and maybe Best Picture, I don't know, but
well, I mean, like you could say Amy Madigan might get Best Supporting Actress nod or something like that.
She was great.
Why not?
Yeah,
she was great.
She was great. Maybe Best Original Screenplay, perhaps a nom, maybe.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, certainly in those categories for sure. And you never know. I mean, you never know. You never know. But yeah, for horror to unfortunately, you know, Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Nightmare on Elm Street will never be nominated for, you know, Academy Awards unless it's in, you know, one of the sort of, you know, effects. But horror, yeah, it can be. There's great horror.
It's so consistent. It's horror and brings in so much money. When you look at other genres, comedy, dead, right? Okay, everybody's struggling with comedy at the moment. Action pictures, unless you're a superhero movie, action
or
pictures.
Jason
Statham. But even his films don't really take that much.
Yeah.
No.
You know, unless you're a Marvel movie or something like that, and even those are on the
or animation
on the decline. I was looking at the opening for Superman in the UK. Okay.
Yes.
Everybody was going nuts because it did nearly £7 million in the UK on its opening weekend. When you look at the last 20 years of superhero movies in the UK, it placed around about 47th in terms of its opening.
Yeah.
And everybody was kind of getting themselves all in a lather about how big it was. Yeah. It wasn't at all.
Right. Right.
It wasn't. It's kind of big compared to everything else that's out there at the moment.
And where the DC films have been recently, I guess.
Yeah. But when you look at how much that movie cost in terms of setting up the next level of DC movies, I doubt it would go into profit at all.
Yeah.
Well, those movies are easily forgettable, aren't they? You got to see it in the first weekend, and then you can't go see. I don't know anyone who hasn't seen Superman or the Fantastic Four in the first weekend. Yeah. Because you see it get over and done with, and then
front loaded.
You don't worry about it anymore.
Well, and it ceases to amaze me how people have not been able to. I mean, maybe some have. But people have not been able to really figure out what the issue is. I'm really going to simplify this. But, you know, in storytelling, when you have the MCU and you've built it up over whatever it was, 23 films or whatever it was, and you are building up to something, and then you build to Avengers Endgame, and there's a release. You end a story. You end a timeline. You end a story, and then you continue to release movies that have no stakes, that have there's no connection, there's no build up. If you want to have superheroes,
It's just a new villain. That's all it is.
but if you want to have superhero, like the reason why the MCU did so well is, yes, the movies were well made and the effects and the characters, sure, but was because it was like a soap opera. It was like you got people on board. It was storytelling. That's why they did well, and the movies were good, and each movie with the end credits scene, and you were building and building and building and building and building, and then you have Avengers Endgame, and there's a release. You end it, and then you start to release movies that are but we're going on again. Subconsciously, what do you mean you're going on? You're done. It's over. Like there's no
it's the multiverse.
And they've been trying to sort of play catch up, but there's no stakes, there's no feeling, there's no build up, there's no emotion. This is why the MCU is not where it is anymore. It's not because the movies are necessarily awfully made. It's because there's no stakes.
It's because it's been done.
It's been done. Right. It's over.
That's it.
It's over.
Yeah,
you peaked. You peaked.
Yeah.
And then now it's done. And if you want to get there again, you're going to have to spend another 10 to 12 years to do it. You have to start at the bottom again and build again. You know what I mean? You can't just ask, don't you care about this? It's like, no, because we peaked. Anyways, I digress, but I'm like, it's not rocket science.
No, but it's all part of the same conversation. Is that horror to maybe not to critics anymore, but certainly to the Academy is like the kind of black sheep of the film industry.
Yes.
And they just refuse to acknowledge it a lot of the time. And, we can say what you want to say about Get Out, but there were reasons why that got recognized that year.
Yeah.
There was a lot of pressure on.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think it was worthy of being nominated like it was.
No.
It's a great film.
It is.
But was it worthy of being, was it an Oscar-worthy movie? No, I don't think so.
Same.
But
Something
it's
I
great.
don't watch repeatedly.
But as you say, Dave, a rising tide raises all ships, and it was great for the genre that it did get some recognition. But we seem to have taken a step back again. It's not, horror's still not getting the recognition that it deserves. And I think with what we've had this year, we should be in a position now for horror to be recognized both critically and amongst award season as well.
I hope so. I hope so.
They'll be labeled dramas.
Yeah. Or the Golden Globes, a musical.
Well, they're a little bit more,
forgiving,
open to the idea of it.
I
think the Golden Globes.
They also award the people that should be getting awards. Sly Stallone, Demi Moore. We gave you a Golden Globe. You're not good enough for an Oscar.
Now,
that's what happened with The Substance. Like The Substance got the Globes because there's a kind of a demographic of voters there that are a bit more sort of in tune. Whereas the Academy are
Ricky Gervais is co-host, for Christ's sake.
Exactly. The Academy has a lot of
stuffiness,
older, stuffy blue rinses, that kind of stuff that you would never get to watch The Substance all the way through. They'll get to a part and go, I'm out. This isn't for me. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, it'll be the same with the likes of Bring It Back, Sinners, Weapons as well, I think. When it
how lucky
maybe not
we
so much
Godzilla
Sinners,
Godzilla got an Academy Award. Everybody stood up and they were like, it's about time, god damn it. 70 years.
It did
even though it's for effects, but you know what? Because Godzilla -1 was a perfect, nearly a perfect Godzilla movie.
It was a great film. It was a great film.
And it got for special effects. And once it said it won for that, everybody stood up clapping. They were so happy because it was actually being recognized.
Yeah. And now, Becky Book Club Maine says, I don't know if you're referring to Weapons or one of the other films we were just talking about, but you said, I feel like the plot holes really take away from the story. And if you're talking about Weapons, I'd be curious to know what plot holes you're talking about. Because there's a difference between sometimes, and I'm not saying you are, but sometimes people will call something a plot hole when it's not a plot hole at all.
It's just not explained.
It's just not explained. And so there's a difference between something that is left ambiguous and something that actually is a plot hole. So I'd just be curious on your thoughts on that. But unless maybe you're talking about one of the other films.
I think the only thing for me that was slightly, and they do touch on it briefly, but it wasn't enough, is the fact that the kid was left, if wouldn't the FBI or whoever be all over that house?
Alex?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing for me that
Right.
is slight, but they do touch on it, don't they?
They do. But you know what, Darren? There's a lot of things in there that me as you know, when we do an investigation, I mean, I'm not FBI, you know, or anything like that, but in my field, there are certain things that we do look for. Why is the grass getting so long? Why is there so many newspapers in the driveway?
Right.
Why is only the aunt coming all the time? I know they brought the father in because they said he has a tumor or he had a stroke. Where's the other parent? No, these are things an investigator would look at. James noticed that shit right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the papers on the driveway.
Yeah. I mean, this is
Well,
stuff
and that's
that
how
we
he knew.
look at.
He knew he could. He assumed that nobody was there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But that's again the whole incompetent of the investigation.
Yeah.
You know, don't you concern yourself about the well keeping of your property?
Yeah, I think it's
Some don't. I know.
It's a good point. It doesn't take away from the film at all.
No.
But yeah, if it's over the course of a few weeks, you would think that this one kid who is the sole survivor, they would be all over. They would be, and maybe they did.
Scoping him out.
Gladys didn't show up. Well, no. Yeah, you think they would have checked the basement. Because once the kids went missing, they would have gone over to the house. I mean, as far as I know, once the kids went missing and Alex was the only survivor, where are the kids at this point? Well, the kids are in the basement of Alex's house. So they didn't do a search of the house. Yeah, it's a little surprising.
Greg's ass says, no, it's not Greg's ass. BT16 says, the narrator says the authorities were all over the house and they literally came back again. So Gladys invoked another spell for them to leave.
Did I get that?
Was it communicated that that's what Gladys did?
I'm not sure that.
Or are we inferring that? Are we assuming that?
Yeah, I think the narrator does say the authorities were all over the house.
I do remember that.
Maybe that was something that was added in post.
Not a good job, at least.
Yeah, I do remember the little girl saying that, I think, or somebody saying that. But then to take it a step further to infer, well, then Gladys must. You could. I mean, you could say, well, she must have put a spell on everybody, and
the cops walk away, don't they? Yeah,
Brooke Scarlett actually, brought that up. She had the kids leave.
She had them leave. She had them leave when she knew the cops were coming. She
had to. I remember that now. She rang the bell. The kids all left the house. And then they came back again.
I kind of remember that. Where did they go? To the garage or something?
We don't know where they go. We don't know. They all left.
I vaguely remember that.
She rang the bell and they left.
I vaguely remember that.
That's right. BTT16 says they literally show the kids leaving.
Right.
Okay.
I vaguely remember that.
Because she says, remember, they'll come and they will.
Right.
We gotta make clean up this house.
Right.
And they're cleaning up the house. She rings the bell. And the kids all leave. And then the kids come back and go in the basement.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I've just seen it once and so
me too.
Good.
Frank's an expert now.
Frank's a deep diver. Frank's like locked and loaded.
Oh, he's been twice a day since it came out.
Frank's seen it 38 times.
Once in the theater and once somewhere else.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
Fucking cheat.
Why am I fucking cheating?
I paid for it once. What the hell, man?
It's no different than going on Prime.
I spend half my working week trying to track down people like you.
We'll call Interpol, damn it.
That's so funny. It's interesting, though, how he wants to make... He's contemplated making a sequel to this movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've heard that. I don't think it would be
called Fist.
I don't think it would be a direct sequel, but like a film in the same universe, perhaps, and maybe it's loosely. I don't know what that means, or where they would go with it. But I did hear him, or somebody.
It must be after Resident Evil's done.
Yes, I would think so. No,
that's Justin Long is in that one.
He will be somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I love a movie. Like I said in my social media post afterwards, it plays out to me like a feature-length episode of some really great mystery horror streaming show. Like it plays like I could totally see this being like you could totally break this story up into 8 episodes over a season. And it's just, where did the kids, and so like, you know, the moment when James finds the kids in the basement, that wouldn't be, you know, an hour into the movie. That would be like episode 7 or something. Do you know what I mean? His
own segment.
Yeah.
All different characters are their own episode.
And so you could really build that mystery up, you know, and it played out like that for me. And I really enjoyed it. Some of the imagery was just really unsettling and really, really, really well done. Just very inspiring, very inspiring.
Yeah.
And, yeah, very cool. But let's go to the chat and see what all of you are saying about this movie. There was one super chat that came in. Let me just get that quickly. It was from... why is it not showing up? It's not showing up. Let me go back and see if I can find it somewhere else. Hang on a sec here. There it is. It is from... Shani, $1.99 says, ending reminded me of Captain Jack Sparrow. Oh, you mean when James kept getting back up, maybe?
Oh, right,
maybe.
yeah.
That's what he means? Yeah, that was funny. Like, for me, that was probably the funniest, quote-unquote, moment in the movie. Would be the fact that he kept getting back up. Because sometimes in the most horrific moments, there can be some fun... some funny things, some dark things.
It just sweared, God damn him! God damn him!
Yeah,
he's no match for Josh Brolin, is he? He's just getting thrown, and he's like,
no,
damn it,
no match at all. I really like the shot too when the mother's face, when you know, poor little Alex is leaning against the door and the mother's face comes, they chop the door and she comes through the door and she looks down at him. You know what I mean? That low angle shot, that was a frightening face.
When you talk about the door number being the same as The Shining in the book, that's also another Shining-esque moment, isn't it? Where she bursts through the door there and puts her face through.
Oh, it's great. It's great. And she just, and the way she looks so intense.
Yeah,
like she's just like, it just was so good. I was like, oh yeah, I'd be getting, I can see now why, because I watched about a 5-minute video of Kreger, yeah. He was introducing the film at the premiere, and he was on stage and he was thanking, you know, the executives and people, and he said, and I can imagine how relieved he would be. He said, you know, I just want to say that, you know, when it came to the script, the shooting of the movie, post-production, the editing, he was thanking, you know, the executives at Warner, New Line, all that. He says, none of us butted heads. We all loved everything. The direction we were going. Yeah. But I was like, oh, that must have been great. You know, to not have, like, he just was like, there was no, what did he say? There was no, he didn't say butting heads, but that's what he meant. He said there was nobody, there were no arguments over what to do with the edit or whatever, things like that. And I can imagine, like, I mean, looking at the footage and piecing that together, it's like, this is great. Like, this is eerie. This is creepy. This is fantastic. And
well, you know, Jordan Peele wanted it.
Oh, did he?
He wanted it, and he actually fired his management from failing to pick up this film.
Oh, really? Oh, he wanted to distribute it, you mean?
Yeah, I think he wanted to make it.
Oh, okay.
I think he wanted to make it. So it was Zach Kreger's script, and then Warner's picked it up. But I think Jordan Peele wanted to direct it. I don't think he wanted to direct it, but I think because you know he produces a hell of a lot of stuff, doesn't he? Yeah. And apparently, I read online the other day that he actually fired his management for failing to pick it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's I mean, I hope there must have been a long, tedious back and forth, and we're gonna get, like, because you wouldn't.
We just don't think it's right for us.
Yeah, because why would you? Unless that was just the icing on the cake and the straw.
And then Josh Brolin said, "I'll take it."
That seems a little excessive. Like if you have a great relation, you know, sometimes you get things, Jordan, and sometimes you don't. You don't need to fire your whole team.
Business.
Yeah, and unless
he fired. It's Barbarian director Zach Crack's upcoming film Weapons is becoming one of the most talked about horror movies of 2025, and it seems Get Out filmmaker Jordan Peele really wanted to produce it, and apparently fired his reps.
Wow.
Because Josh Brolin's a producer on this.
That's got to.
Yeah, I think that was probably a sweetener because he originally had cast Pedro Pascal, in that role, and then Pedro Pascal apparently had to decline, and so I would imagine that in order to get Josh Brolin on board, he probably, in the same way that Jamie Lee Curtis was a producer on the Halloween movies, I would imagine that he offered that up to him to get him on board.
We'll give you a percentage. You want to come on board? What do you say, Josh? Yeah, that's probably it. I would hope that maybe it was a relationship that was dwindling anyway, and this was just maybe the straw that broke the camel's back, because you wouldn't fire your team. I mean, sometimes you get things and sometimes you don't, right? Like, you know, and so I would imagine that it was just kind of it was the end game for the menu, unless he's just that strict. Like, whoa, like, holy crap, you know. I mean,
excuse me, Mr. Nope.
I mean, you know, there's you know, there's auditions and gigs I haven't gotten. I haven't turned around and fired my reps yet, but
so he was going to do it through through Universal and his own company, Monkey Paw, I think they're called. And it says here, according to the Deadline report, there are different versions of what happened next. In one account, Peele was ultimately angry over the loss of Weapons. In the other, Peele was told that he would win the Weapons rights if he matched New Line's bid. But he and Universal were unsure about the movie's success with such a lofty budget and walked away. That's the other story of it.
Okay.
But ultimately, he parted ways with his managers. Despite the speculation, it hasn't been confirmed why Peele ended their professional relationship. What is known, however, is that both Peele and Craig were represented by Principato. So the guy that they that he parted ways with was also a rep for Zach Craig as well.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. So there's
he wanted it and he didn't get it.
Well, there's more to the story. There's more to the story. Yeah. Interesting. Well,
he's got a movie coming out this year. Him. It looks pretty good.
Jesus Christ.
If you're American, it does.
Him, us.
Would you be happy? If it was a fucking dart player, Darren?
Well, I mean, like, even if you're it's about American footballer, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
He's basically getting tortured to be the best player.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is it based on a true story or?
No, Marlon Wayans is in it.
Oh, so it's Scary Movie 6. No,
it looks.
But that's
good.
the thing, though. In the
Looks
UK,
real.
if you make a movie about football in the UK,
right?
Let's say it's about Manchester United.
Yes.
You isolate 90 odd other fan bases because no one wants to go see a film about a team that they don't support.
Right.
If you make an American football movie, you know, the bulk of the country here don't follow it, don't understand it.
Right.
And so it's just a huge handicap.
Yeah.
You know, movies like Any Given Sunday, they just didn't work over here,
Yeah.
you know.
Replacements,
all that stuff. Yeah.
I saw that in the theater.
What was the one?
The Hoosiers did pretty well.
The Sandra Bullock one? What was that?
No, Gene Hackman.
No. There's a Sandra Bullock film where she
Blindside.
Yes,
The Blind Side. That was based on
huge,
true story.
huge in the US.
Yeah.
Over here, nothing.
Yeah, it's funny.
Batshit says we don't give a shit about American football here. Darren is saying it's true. It's true. There are some people. There are, and I know there is.
Well, we don't give a shit about your English football either.
Well, I think American football, and obviously we have it up here too. But I think it's just Canada and the U.S. where it's played. Like I think the entire world.
They played in other countries. They
there is
the season has played in the U.K. It's played in Germany. It's trying to attract.
Oh,
other
so they're trying. Okay. But
they get expats to come in because you'll see, you know, if it's the Giants, you know, and let's say the Giants and the Steelers are playing. you'll see people wear the Patriots just because they're expats and they just want to,
right,
get into the game and they miss it.
Because I know that
it sells out.
I know soccer or football, true football, which that makes sense to me. You kick a ball with your foot. Yep. But us North Americans obviously call it soccer, but is I believe the most widely played sport, if I'm not mistaken. I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So, what the heck was that?
That's a giant hornet.
Oh, was that? I thought that was a bike
that was
again.
Darren's Uber driver. It's on a moped.
But yeah, I love this in the chat. American football is boring as hell. There's a lot of stopping and starting. It's true. It's kind of like baseball.
90 minutes of going back down, seeing people.
Now, hockey, on the other hand, I mean, you may not understand it, but it's fast paced and a lot going on. If you want action. No, actually,
Dave, put him up.
Actually, fighting in hockey has gone down over the years.
Well, it's not the Philadelphia Flyers, is it?
Well, no, and also it's just the games change and concussions and we know more about all this kind of stuff, and so it's actually, I mean, there's still a fight every now and then, but it's not like it was in the 70s or the 80s where it's like there was 3 fights a game.
I remember about maybe 6 months ago, you messaged me and Frank late at night going, "I'm just watching the hockey now, and they've been playing like 13 seconds.
Oh yeah, that was great.
The fucking gloves are off. They're all fighting.
That was the NHL's, which is the National Hockey League. That was their quote unquote all-star game. But what it was, they usually have an all-star game, but this year they decided to do what was called a Four Nations tournament, and the Four Nations were the U.S., Canada, Sweden, and Finland, I believe. And so they would take the best players that were from those countries in the National Hockey League, and they would have like a week-long tournament. To nobody's surprise, Canada and the U.S., which generally overall usually produce the best hockey players, although Russia, Sweden, Finland produce amazing hockey players as well. But having said that, overall, most of the players in the NHL are Canadian and then American. But that being said, obviously this was in February, and tensions between Canada and the U.S. and the whole 51st state and all that was extremely high. And so you have Canadian players playing American players, and so it was, there was and I think a bit of it was performative, to be honest with you. I think the crowd, the energy, they wanted to see that, and a lot of these guys know each other. And I don't mean performative in the sense that it was a fake fight. I just mean that, a lot of these guys are teammates on their regular teams.
Yeah.
And so,
and here we go again.
Yeah, and so I think there were three fights in the first 3 minutes or something ridiculous.
There were two brothers.
There were two, not facing each other.
No. But the one brother did it, and the other brother did it again.
The other brother did with another guy. And it's a real fight. I mean, it's not that they were, but it was, you could see it coming a mile away because of the political tensions and things like that. But that kind of thing used to be regular in like the 70s and 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, not so much. Now, players are younger. They're more aware of,
they respect their bodies.
Concussions, things like, It's not the way it used. Every now and then
talk about the guy there, Dave, who got his throat slashed with the stick.
Oh, that's horrible.
Well, that's happened a couple of times. That was, my favorite hockey team, the Buffalo Sabres. This is the Buffalo Sabres. They're absolute.
Sorry.
Thank you. They're absolute trash. They haven't made the playoffs in 14 years. But anyway, one day, maybe when I'm 80. So, but this was 1989. Clint Malarchuk was a goaltender for the Buffalo Sabres, and it's on YouTube. You can watch it. And long story short, it was a pass from the other side of the rink in front of the net, which is what, you're trying to get the puck to your player. Yep. And there was a commotion in front. Everybody went down and into the goalie, and the skate blade of the opposing team's player came up and sliced the jugular or the carotid artery of Clint Malarchuk. And you can see it. It's on YouTube. I hope you have not a weak stomach.
And he skates over to his side.
No. He throws off his mask. He's holding his neck, and you see the blood spurting onto the ice in a huge pool. Now, one of the medics from the Sabres, came rushing over. He was a former Vietnam medic. and he actually reached into his neck and pinched off the vein, and
he lived.
He lived, and had he not done that, he may have died. And they also said the end of the rink he was at, he just had to turn around and skate off. Like, they opened the boards up and skate off. It was, if he was at the other end of the rink and had to skate the entire length of the, the ice, they said he may not have made it. It was that close. It was that, but I mean, to have a Vietnam medic, like, who's seen some crazy shit, just reach into your neck and pinch the thing. I mean, thank goodness. But yeah, it's on YouTube. You can watch it. Crazy.
BT, where was it now? Is it BT16? He said, who was it now? Oh no, it was Evil Alex 87 said you could do a legit horror film about hockey with all the fights and injuries. Well, actually, if you have a look, there is a movie. Now, it's not a horror film, but it's bloody violent. It's a movie called Slapshot from about 1978 or 9 or something.
Paul Newman?
Paul Newman, yeah. And that is so violent.
Yeah.
The team's just constantly bloodied up all the time, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's the thing with hockey, it gets such an interesting reputation, around the world. People think of hockey, they think of that. They think it's just a bunch of goons out there slapping their sticks and going all over. Believe it or not, hockey is an incredibly skilled sport. I mean, you have razor blades on your feet. You're skating 30 miles an hour down, a sheet of ice, chasing a rubber disc, trying to put it into a net.
With weapons in your hand.
Yeah, exactly. But the skill, I mean, true skill, it is, if you sit and watch a hockey game, just actually sit and watch it, the skill is unbelievable. I mean, the passes that these players make and the saves that the goalies make and the skating, I mean, they're amazing skaters, the backwards and the forward. And I played hockey for 13 years. I can skate forwards and backwards and all. I can do all of that. It is a true skilled sport. But that unfortunately has a reputation of being sort of goony and just a bunch of people out there not knowing what they're doing and slapping sticks. And it's not like that at all. It's not like that at all. Can
you do a backwards flip like Scott Hamilton?
I can't do it. No, I can't figure skate. But I can skate very well. Yeah, no, I played for 13 years and I was
so
good.
Could John Candy. He was graceful.
Yeah, well, he's Canadian. So that makes sense.
Can we talk cricket now?
Yeah, sure. Let's, now, cricket is an amazingly skilled. So I've actually watched cricket. I have no idea what's going on, but
days goes on for days.
Does it really?
Oh yeah, it can go on for weeks.
Oh no, my
sport and still not have a winner.
No. If I'm gonna get involved in a sport, it's got to be over in like 2 hours. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't take that.
Well, that's why the baseball has the pitching clock now and the batter clock. That's something that was 3 hours is now 2.
That's it. But oh yeah. I realize that all the chats or all the comments now are about the sports we've been talking and nothing with weapons. But
let's talk about French fries and gravy.
There you go. Robert Thidoff says estimates are 42.5 million for weapons this weekend. Jesus, what a freaking opening! Oh my God! I mean, this thing could hit 100 million worldwide.
Though.
Well, this weekend?
No. But I'm saying, like, overall, this might get to 100 million worldwide.
Oh, absolutely. It probably do 100. Well, you only need a multiple of 2.5 for it to do. So multiple is what is your opening weekend versus your complete run.
Right.
And usually for a horror film, it's about 2.5 to 3. So 3 times the opening weekend will roughly be what your box office is going to be,
right?
Especially with the reviews it's got.
Yeah.
So you're looking at around about 110, 120 in the US alone.
Yeah, jeez.
For its run.
He's set up.
So yeah, he's in a good place.
He's in a good place.
Number 1 this weekend it will be.
Yeah, outdoing Freaky Friday. Freakier Friday.
Yeah,
almost by double.
I'm surprised they released Freakier Friday in the theaters. That feels like something that may have gone to streaming.
Yeah, it does. Although, she's in the best
That's
as
true.
Brandon said on our stream at the moment, she's in the best place she's ever been in her career at the moment. So they would probably not
That's true.
want to consider that, you know.
That's true.
Lindsay Lohan?
No. No, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh.
But
a sequel that no one asked for.
No.
Absolutely
Well, no, the
nobody
Halloween
fucking
fans
asked
did.
for. Oh, bullshit.
Apparently Halloween fans were. So about Freaky Friday, are you ever going to do a sequel?
Is Lindsay Lohan old enough to have a 15-year-old daughter?
Yeah, she's in her. What is she in her?
Well, she didn't know. That's what she said.
That's what
she had to
said.
look it up.
Oh, right.
I didn't realize Chris Nelson did the effects work on Freakier Friday.
Oh, did he?
There's a scene where, because apparently Jamie Lee Curtis's character, I don't know, I haven't seen the film. I've seen the original, but years ago.
Right.
There's a scene where Jamie Lee Curtis has some sort of cosmetic work done. And so Chris Nelson the other day posted a video of these kind of like lips that he put on Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah.
It was on Instagram. I saw that. Yes.
Collagen
He
lips.
just grabbed the fingers from everything all at once and then just taped them on there.
But
he's in a good place with her, I think, because I would imagine that
he's not going to burn that bridge.
Yeah, she requested he be on that film. I guarantee it.
Yes.
I admire her loyalty. I give Jamie Lee Curtis that. She does have loyalty.
Yeah, she does, and she's hot right now. I mean, you know, the Academy Award, and she's also got a movie coming out that looks like what's it called? It looks like a kind of a comedy, something with her. Oh, what's it called? It's the name of the person.
Oh, it's the Albert Brooks film, isn't it?
It's it's
the Albert Brooks.
Yeah, a woman. She plays like the mother of the woman.
It's.
I forget the name of it, but that is coming out. I watched the trailer. It looks like it could be all right.
It's called Ella McKay.
That's it. Ella McKay. Yes. Yeah. It looks like, you know, it looks like something you would see really, and I say this in a positive way. I don't know how well it's going to do here.
Poster looks like shit.
But it looks like something you would have seen released in the 90s. Like it looks like that kind of movie.
Well, an Albert Brooks film.
Right. Well, there you go. Yeah, exactly.
It's Father the Bride. That's what it is.
That goddamn movie that, what was it called now? How Do You Know? Jack Nicholson, Albert Brooks film. It was, one second, because obviously he did As Good as It Gets. And that was huge, and he had great success with that film. And so then Columbia went on to make a movie called How Do You Know, which was Jack Nicholson, Paul Rudd, I think Reese Witherspoon was in it, and Owen Wilson or Luke Wilson. One of the Wilson brothers was in it as well. And it was just a bunch of people talking in a house. 120 million budget.
What?
Yeah.
That had 100 of that had to have gone to the people in the movie. I mean,
quite possibly.
I mean, especially Jack Nicholson. I mean,
I'm not doing anything for less than 90.
I mean, he's, oh my God.
It took 48.7 million and cost 120. It was a comedy, a drama.
Million. Oh my God.
Sorry, James L. Not Albert Brooks. James L. Brooks.
Well,
James
Albert Brooks is in it.
Albert Brooks is in it.
All the Brookses are in it.
Yeah.
Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
They're all related, Frank. They're all related.
From the singer who brought you Thunder Roll.
That's right.
Emma McKay.
I watched the trailer. And look, it looks like it could be a fun little,
Yeah. She's doing those age-appropriate movies now, isn't she? And getting
the
lots
poster
of
says it all. It's like, remember the poster for Meet the Parents where they took the heads of De Niro and Stiller and put them on bodies in front of that polygraph machine?
Yes.
You can tell Jamie Lee Curtis is holding somebody else that's not the actual actress.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'll have to look at that. But no, it's there's what was I going to say? Batshit scary. It is about trauma. It's about
trauma.
Trauma. That's it.
Trauma.
Trauma.
She's cheapened trauma now.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It ticks
I don't
me
want to hear
off.
about trauma. Yeah,
It ticks me off because there's I'm not gonna say what, it just ticks me off, folks. I'll just say that. I'm just like, come on,
Convention
man.
should use this.
God
Should
damn
use
it.
this in their publicity. You know, if you want to see a movie about trauma,
I can't even like, it's like, God damn it. You know, she just, it's a word that has no meaning anymore. It's like saying the word,
yeah.
it's balmy outside. Balmy,
Yeah.
balmy. Say that over and over again. It's got no meaning. It's lost its meaning.
hot heat.
Hot heat, yeah. But listen, this has been good. Darren, I know that you have to skedaddle in a few moments, unless you don't. But I'm aware of your time with.
I know, Frank. You're going to see CJ Graham today, is it?
Yeah,
I
he's
think?
going to be. It's only
that's
a
right.
20-minute drive. He's there till 3.
Is he
Is he well? Because
I was just gonna say,
We'll talk to him.
did they wheel him in
Showing
his
up.
bed, or how are they?
We'll see how he is, and I'm going to ask him if he's going to go and say, "Listen, are you going to tomorrow go over to the
right
little filming that's happening?"
So you think he's going to have a cameo in the Crystal Lake series?
I think so. Well, it's too much of a coincidence that he's there and then filming tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he'd be like, he'll just pop up as a bartender or something like that,
Yeah.
won't he?
The guy he probably owns one of the shops. That's
Yeah,
gonna be in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, you know what? I think it wouldn't surprise me if we see quite a bit of Friday the 13th alum in the series. Throughout the series, I mean. CJ Graham, the bartender, maybe you see well, is Adrienne King in it? Or was that scrapped? That was the thing before, right?
She was going to be in it.
She was. I think so.
But she's not
I don't
playing.
know what aspect.
Yeah, she's certainly not playing. She's playing a different character. But you know what? I think
she'd be like 10, right? If that was the case.
Exactly.
Her character would be like 10 years old.
Yeah, but you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if you see Amy Steele pop up, maybe, or some of the final girls that they're playing different characters, obviously. But that wouldn't surprise me, or maybe not. Maybe they won't do that.
Interesting. Brett Patrick says he didn't go to the series convention this weekend in California. So they were doing a big, almost like a Halloween style convention, and he didn't go to that. I wonder if that's because, as Frank says, he might have a part in the show, or whether he's just not well enough to travel.
Yeah, maybe. Is he from New Jersey? Is that why or is he not?
No.
Okay, so he traveled to New Jersey at least. So
he could have had the surgery in Jersey.
maybe he
Could have
did.
done.
Maybe he's still. Maybe he's actually not going to be at the convention. When you go up to his table, there's going to be a television monitor, and it's going to be him from his hospital bed, and it's a live stream, and you just get to wave to him, and you meet him, and you talk to him through the television monitor.
Is it a convention you're going to, Frank?
No, it's a store.
Oh, it's a store. Okay,
is it like a signing session or something?
It's a grand opening of a Trader Joe's.
Is it really?
No.
Oh, I was like, why is he there?
Oh, I was going to say,
he's promoting Angry Orchard.
Really? Well,
No.
that side?
No, I was going to say, well, of course he's part of the thing then. If he's
Shut up.
Is it so? It's not a convention. It's the opening of, what is it opening?
No, it's a shop that has all these celebrities that do come. It's where I met Shatner.
Okay.
Who was there and everything,
Okay.
and Tyler Mane.
You just gave me a flashback to years ago, 1990. I went to see a band called Love Hate, who were a kind of a mediocre rock band.
Yeah, I remember Love Hate.
Hate, yeah. Blackout in the Red Room.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went to see them, and they had a sign-in session beforehand, and I went and got my vinyl signed by them. And chatted with the band for literally 30 seconds.
Right.
Fast forward to about 5 years ago, and I went to a gig, and the singer from the band was at the bar, and I went up to the bar, and I said, I met you back in 1990. I said, you were in my hometown, record signing, blah, 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 all that. And he went, yeah, I remember, yeah. And I went, really? And he went, no! It was 35 years ago.
He remembers the place,
What's
but not
funny?
you.
What's funny about those moments? Because I've had similar, not in the same way, but similar things where you get excited when somebody says something and you're like, really? They're like, well, no. And you're like, oh yeah.
And I've just had that moment twice with this dickhead down here.
Yeah, no.
Really? An Angry Orchard opening? No.
Well, it kind of sounded like it could have been plausible because of the Sweet Revenge that's releasing this coming week and the whole, like, I don't know. I thought maybe that was going to be part of it. You know, but no,
I like how you think CJ Graham's status of opening a Woolworths or opening a shoe store is valid for him to be there.
So it's more possible that when you go to meet him today, that he will be on a monitor via Zoom call, just saying hi.
It is possible.
So how does he sign anything? He doesn't.
He has his rep there stamping.
Yes, that's it.
Stamping.
That's what it is.
Nice to meet you, sir.
That's yeah. Thank you.
He'll be back. He's in the bathroom. You hear the toilet flush. And he comes back to his chair. Oh, what's your name? Okay.
Oh my God, that would be funny.
It's you shake the hand of the rep, pretending it's him.
That's it.
You know,
that's it. Oh my God, that'd be funny. Well, listen, this was good, guys. This was good. This was
yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Dave.
Are there any last things you want to say about weapons or any last points you want to make or whatever? I think we
there
covered
wasn't too
most
many
of it.
spoilers if you think about it. I think we made more people intrigued to go see it.
Yeah, I think so. Well, we kind of spoiled that it's,
we
a witch
gave
and it's
away
the
whole
ant.
film. Yeah, and then she gets torn apart by the kids.
That's true. She gets torn apart by the kids. And what's the trailer? Is it the second trailer where you see the kids breaking through the windows and coming out of the... Yeah.
They gave the ending away in that one.
I was just going to say, yeah, so don't watch it.
There was a tear-jerky moment when Alex is hugging his parents. That was kind of sweet.
Yeah, thanks. I forgive you, Mom and Dad. I mean, you just were trying to kill me, but I forgive you. But yeah, it was a good show. Good show, folks. If you're watching after the fact, jump into the comment section and let Frank and I and Darren know what your thoughts are on weapons. If you've seen it, if you haven't seen it yet, and you've made it this far, well, sorry.
Thank you to go see it now. Thank you.
Sorry, Tabitha.
yeah. Sorry, Tabitha. Jump into the comment section and let us know your thoughts. This was a good show, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I know that you guys did as well. And so again, thanks for popping on. Anything you guys got coming up on your channels, on the TSL, or the, of course, most of the people in here already watch you guys anyway, so... This is right. But what do you have coming up?
Nothing.
I don't know. I think we maybe do something on Tuesday, Frank, if you're around. We got to do 1992. Is it 1992? So I'll prep that for Tuesday.
Okay.
But other than that, maybe a odd little thing I'll drop on Mr. Sandsman as well. Frank, Scream video ready yet?
Shut up.
Okay.
It's there, but tomorrow I'm going to be in Blairstown to see if I can get a glimpse of whatever they're filming.
Okay,
cool. And then running away from the security and just be like, you can't get me, get me public.
I'm looking forward to seeing your videos and photos. It should be good. Well, okay, folks, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate it. And don't forget, I am like 5 subscribers away from 30K. If you're not subscribed, feel free to do me a solid. And also, of course, the campaign for the development funds for the house on Port Robinson Road. There's the link in the chat there. I'm only about $130 or something like that away from 45%. That's so go in and check that out and see if we can get to 45%. I'm hoping to get to 50% by Tuesday, at the end of Tuesday. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm going to have to do some big show between now and then. But just a reminder. But yeah, Frank, Darren, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. And
thank you for having us, Dave.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
For having us.
Problem. We will talk to you all soon. Take care, guys. Alrighty. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.